The relationships in this business is everything. This is Byron and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 136 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
Word is up. I am down.
You are down.
Where I am. I'm somewhere else.
You
Not
are
with
somewhere
Nicole
else
today. I like the background though.
I don't know. So I know that I can't actually see you at this very moment, but I did see your background. It's wildly masculine. It's so, I feel like it's, I feel like you should have books. I feel like, yes, smart.
There are books back here.
Smart would probably
be very
be
smart sitting here, which means I'm going to probably
you need like a bow tie or something. I think you need a bow tie.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a bow tie guy, but
that room makes you need a bow tie. Yeah.
All right, we've got 2 rackets today, 2 Inman articles, no Marketeer of the week. We're completely mailing it in here on the Labor Day week. Just didn't have a Marketeer. Nobody's doing the great marketing, I guess. I don't know. We didn't have one this week. So we're going with 2 rackets, 2 Inman articles. I think this is really important in most people's market right now. Sure. Racket number 1, losing bidding wars, ? 10 strategies for victory. And then our next racket, we'll tell you how to avoid losing these bidding wars. But let's start with the strategies for victory, Nicole White, starting off with number 1.
Yep.
Be respectful to the listing agent from the moment you book the showing.
I mean, obviously.
I should go in any market.
Oh, I was gonna say, and you should really just show respect regardless of what market you're in. You're working together constantly. That's silly, but
think of every showing as a potential sale. You have to put your best foot forward from the very first interaction. There's no question that there are certain agents that will let emotions play into how they're going to educate their client on all these offers. So you don't want to put yourself at a disadvantage because you got the emotions by being disrespectful up with your interactions with the agent. So yeah, absolutely be respectful. Always be respectful of your agents. So I think that's in our code of ethics.
Absolutely. It should be, because in all honesty, right now, the agents are probably judging you, if they've dealt with you in the past, are probably using those too to sort of dictate to their sellers sort of if this is going to be smooth, is it going to be easy, is it going to be hard? How does that agent, usually handle their clients? So I think number 1 is a little bit of a racket because it should be all the time, but we're going to pick which one we feel like is the most important. Most important? Okay.
All right.
Well, that one is not.
So once we hear them all. All right. Number 2,
but you're talking about the most important in regards to this.
In regards to this.
For victory. Yes.
Yeah. For victory. Yeah. For winning your buyer's, multiple offer bid.
Yep.
Number 2, call the listing agent. So as soon as you know your buyer is wanting to submit an offer, pick up the phone and call the agent, avoiding text message and email. I agree with this wholeheartedly. I think losing buyer agents are the ones that continuously are just texting and emailing because they're like, oh, it's just another agent. I don't need to have a conversation with them.
Right.
You absolutely need to get on the phone with that other agent and talk them through the deal. Talk them through how committed your buyer is to closing on the property, because actually closing on the property is going to be wildly important to them.
I think all of them are important, though, at this point. I think you should call. I think you should text. I think you should, especially if they're not answering the phone.
All 3.
Email,
I think you should do all 3.
Give your feedback. I've even called listing agents while I'm at the showing so that my buyers know that I'm being diligent and letting the listing agent know that they're interested. So in this situation, I think in this climate, you need to over speak to listing agents at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Number 3, have the lender call the listing agent. Like that a lot. Giving that little extra assurance that, hey, not only am I sending you the pre-approval or the pre-qualification form, but I'm having the lender now do what I just did, which is pick up the phone and give you that verbal assurance that this is going to be a smooth transaction. Love that one.
I do too. Because I honestly, in most situations, I am asking the buyer's agent if I can call the lender. So obviously this sort of takes that question out of my sort of bullet point. But no, I think it's brilliant.
You're knocking that step out for them. Number 4,
Yeah.
have the buyer submit a personalized letter. I got to tell you, Nicole,
Yeah.
you're shaking your head yes, because you know you've been an advocate of this and I've not been an advocate of this in the
Huge
past.
advocate of letters.
It's working big time right now. Sellers
Yes.
really are enjoying these letters. I don't know why. There just must be emotional saps, but it's their home. And so they want to know somebody is going to really love it the way that they did. They work. So I would say, yeah, go ahead and encourage your buyers to do this. They are working.
I think what's great though, too, as a listing agent, when you're providing them with the letter though, too, they're getting a full picture then, so that they're really making sort of a choice, not just based on like numbers too. You know, I mean, I'm dealing with so many sellers right now that are selling homes that they've lived in and raised their families. So they're enjoying reading these as well, to hear that like another family is going to be moving into their home or, you know, whatever it may be. So I think they're beautiful.
Using number 5, use an escalation clause. Absolutely.
Gotta.
I mean, if you're in multiple offer and you're not going to go up to your certain number per increments, you could be like basically allowing your buyer to overpay by X amount because maybe there wasn't a bid close enough to their top number. So go to the top number using an escalation clause. Absolutely. Number 6, have a shorter inspection period. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know that that's necessarily going to claim victory, but definitely
it might not be the thing, but it adds up.
For sure.
Right. The fact that you're going to get this knocked out and know if they're moving forward. Quickly. I mean, if you can waive, it says here, if you can waive the inspection period completely, that puts you in the best position. But as long as they know you're going to do the inspection right away, you're going to get back to them right away so that they know if they need to go back on the market or not.
Right.
That's going to be important for them to make their decision.
Yep.
Submit a higher escrow deposit. I've seen this more, people asking for higher deposits. And whoever wrote this article here, Kasina Korneva.
Good job.
Not sure which market she's from, but she says the common escrow deposit is 1% to 2%, and she's always advising clients to go a little bit higher. Yeah, sure. I think that can help.
I guess. I just feel like if an agent and the attorney are doing their jobs, like the escrow has nothing really to do with it. But
yeah, no, I agree.
I mean,
not in our market, anyways. But
yeah.
Some of these higher end markets, it is really important. I'm not sure which market she's in. She's in Florida, Piney Woods Realty in Florida. Not sure where that's located, but she's in Florida. Number 8, let the listing agent know you're open to collaborating. Let the listing agent know that your buyers are open to collaborating and negotiating anything they submit. So they're open to, you know, whatever the seller is
maybe it's a closing date. Maybe like the buyer thinks that 30 days is appealing, but they can go longer. I mean, absolutely.
Maybe
I
they
think
want
that's
to rent
important.
back a garage, you know, all kinds of wacky stuff. All right, cool.
Renting a garage. Have you been in that situation before?
Yeah, recently somebody was asking to rent out a garage and we had buyers that agreed to it and then they didn't agree to it at the last minute. You know, that can cause a mess. So
lovely. It's like when you're in charge of like selling furniture. I love it.
Yeah. Furniture sales. Number 9, write an email about your process. The offer isn't just about the buyers and their qualifications. The buyer's agent plays a huge role as well. So basically validating your process and the way you're going to move through the transaction. I like that. I'd be wildly impressed if a buyer agent sent me information about their process. I'd probably follow that up with a recruiting pitch, but I do like that a lot.
Very interesting. Well, it's almost like they're like are they interviewing? It's like they're interviewing themselves.
I mean, you kind of are applying for the position of being the one that gets to have their buyers under contract. I like that.
So very interesting. Okay.
Number
Never heard
10,
of it.
Be organized. If the listing agent has directions on the MLS and
addenda.
An addenda. Wow. That they request to be signed, make sure you do. Absolutely. Just have your
best
office in order. That kind of goes with number 9, the process. All right, Nicole, which of these 10 is the most important strategy for victory to make sure your buyer does not lose the bidding war? Which one are you going with?
So I wish that I could choose one, but I feel like there's 2 in here that kind of go hand in hand. Because I do think that the escalation clause is wildly important right now. I think that it's a great way, like you were saying, you know, not to sort of outbid yourself. But I
Yeah.
do think that including a letter with that is wildly important because, as we know, sellers aren't always picking the highest offer, they're picking the best offer. So
Yeah.
I do think that it is important, even though you are going with an escalation clause to sort of protect yourself, that even if you aren't the highest price in that escalation situation, that the letter could potentially, sort of like support what it is that, you want.
So you're going escalation
4,
clause
5, 4.
along with the letter. So
Yep.
the two, so really basically you're going with what's in that offer, attached to that offer, which would be a letter, and what's in that offer, the escalation clause.
Right.
Okay. So
yes.
you're combining 4 and 5. I'm going to go with number 2, call the listing agent. So here's a little tip for buyers. Have a really strong buyer agent that is working with you. Don't just pick your friend or somebody who's a part-time agent. Have a legit strong buyer agent that knows the listing agent community, that knows all the brokers and the agents in the area that you're looking in, so that they have the relationship, so that when they pick up the phone and call to present your offer, they are now communicating exactly what you want, and they have experience communicating with this particular agent in the past. I can't stress this enough, how many listing agents are going to present 3, 4, 5 offers to their seller.
Mm-hmm.
And they are going to say, listen, these are all similar offers, because likely when you're in a multiple offer situation, there are a lot of similar offers.
Right.
These are all similar. Offer A, I've worked with that buyer agent on a number of transactions. This is how they're going to talk to their seller. The buyer agent number A is a great agent. She's very, very strong in our market. She works with strong buyers.
I love that you're saying she too. What about he? Is there any men in here?
Or he.
Maybe offer 2 is he?
They are, usually these strong buyer agent. No, I'm joking. She's a great agent, right? And she's got her I know her process. I don't need her to send me the process because I know it. It works all the time. I've closed a number of deals with her. This type of language is going to get the seller to start thinking about the closing transaction, how smooth it's going to be with buyer agent number A. Because I do this as a listing agent, right? If I'm not in a dual agency situation and I've got 3, 4 bids from different brokers, I'm saying, hey, I've never heard of broker B. Doesn't mean broker B, can't close this deal. Never heard of them. Right. They haven't done any deals. They're green. Okay. Right. I'm just giving you all the information so that you can make the best decision as the seller. So you need to work buyers with an agent that has the ability, not only everybody's got the ability to call the listing agent, but when they get on the other line, has the ability to say, hey, Nicole, how have you been? How's your family? Because we've worked together so many times. It's really important, guys. The relationships in this business is everything. Absolutely. And if you are a buyer agent, and you're not picking up the phone, I don't care. Oh, I don't know this person. I'm just going to send them a text or an email. This is your opportunity now to create a great relationship with the agents and the brokers in your market. And it's going to help you on the next deal, the next deal, the next deal. I'd be doing every single part of the negotiation over the phone and then following up with text and email after as the reassurance of what we talked about. Right.
I think if you let me add 11, because I feel like we always joke.
There was an 11 on here.
I know, but I feel like I want to add an 11 because I do think that even if you aren't winning right now, I do think that if your buyer is wildly serious about the property, that you should be having the seller sign your buyer's offer as a backup offer. I feel like in this market right now, I'm having more and more of my buyers do that, and they're actually winning them because then they're not back in a dual, like a multiple offer, situation, and they're next in line. And again, with like jobs and things changing so much, I do think that again, if your buyer is wildly interested in one property in particular, that you should definitely ask that agent if the seller is willing to sign it as a backup offer, because I think that you'll find that you may actually get it in the end.
Yeah, that's a good strategy because there are people still in this competitive market walking away because they just couldn't get over the fact that there was a couple things on the inspection report that they didn't like.
Yep.
I think
again, jobs, it could come down to mortgage. It could come down to, really anything right now is still sort of, I feel like, happening. So.
And I thought that was a good piece. We'll link that up, of course. That's an Inman article. We'll link that up so you guys can check it out. Inman article number 2, racket number 2. another opinion piece, negotiating, question mark, 7 words to put on your don't say list. So we gave you the 10 strategies how to win these multiple offers. Now we're going to give you 7 words you do not want to use if you're actually trying to be a better negotiator and trying to win that multiple offer bid. We'll do the same things. We'll go through the 7 here, Nicole, and we'll pick what we think is the most important one to avoid.
Yep.
Number 1, the word but negates whatever comes before it. You ever see that? I think it's Curb Your Enthusiasm. Maybe it's Seinfeld. It's one of the two. You know, they say they're talking about the phrase, with that being said. Nicole,
Yes.
you look great today. That being said, you know, I think you could have maybe used a little more makeup or maybe gone with the longer sleeves. You know, it's kind of like that thing, you know.
Are those real things?
That being said, I just negated that you look great today. That being said, you know, I think maybe the longer
I think
sleeves,
it's just true in all of the world. The amount of times that my kids are like, but it's like, it's done. You're done.
Well, everything you said before is
no
useless.
But. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So I agree. But is a terrible word. I probably use it way too often. Number 2, can't. I'm sure your kids say that. Can't.
Of course.
Oh, another fun fact. Art Williams, he built Prime America, the insurance company.
Okay.
He built this $1 billion company back, I guess, in the 70s, 80s. And before he built that company, he used to coach football down south.
Yeah.
And he had this football team, young kids, and he had this paddle. You ever see Dazed and Confused? They got the paddle and they're like whacking kids on the butt.
Yeah.
So at the start of football season, anybody that said I can't, any kid that said I can't, the other kids got to rat the kid out. So there was it was like a culture of ratting each other out. Anytime someone says I can't, they got the paddle, and that other kid that ratted him out got to paddle him on the behind.
No wonder why he's not coaching anymore. Was he fired?
No, he was not. This is back in the 70s, Nicole. So
Jeepers.
Can't was now. No, I think this is good for sports teams. Maybe Coach White paddling kids.
The man would lose his job. What do you mean?
Can't now was no longer said 2 weeks into the season. All his kids were trained never to say I can't. Hey, run through that whole I can't. Nope. They wouldn't say I can't. You couldn't create a word game, Art Williams said, to get his kids to say can't because they know the paddle was coming. Can't, obviously, terrible word. Just in life in general, don't use can't. So I agree with that. 3, hope.
You hate the word hope too.
I hate that word. You know the saying, right?
Remind me,
Nicole. Hope is not a strategy. Surprised I didn't put that in here.
No, I'm not. It's not in here. But hope, you always in our Friday meetings, you hate the word hope. Isn't that what people say? Or I want.
Yeah.
I want.
I hope to do this week. I want to do this. I hope.
Yes.
I want. Hope and want. Hope and want. Just commit.
Right.
Yeah. Hope's a terrible word. Number 4, if. If this, then that. If that, then this. If we get an offer.
Your offer is so low that I don't know if the sellers will even consider it. Interesting.
How about when we get an offer?
Yeah, no, I'm hearing that. But even though you're making a low offer, I'm going to do everything I can to persuade the sellers to take it. Interesting.
It's all language so that the other agent feels confident in your ability. I like that. I like the if being out of your language. No and not. I don't know, because no, you
love no.
I love starting with no.
Or just no.
Start with yes, start with no, both.
That's an answer. No.
That's an answer. No.
You don't need anything more than no.
I think this is a racket. The Ritz-Carlton has a policy. Their staff never tells a guest no, or they are not able to do anything. So here's the thing. I think you always want to agree up front. Agreement is a great strategy, especially when you're working with your clients. You always want to agree. It's almost like that being said, I agree, that being said. But, when you're dealing with another agent on a lowball offer, no is an acceptable answer. I'd love to work with you, but no, this isn't a good offer, right? I'd love to work with you.
Yeah.
But no, this won't work. Number 6, should. Should.
So I guess what we need to preface here in this article is that this is about negotiating,
with another agent.
Well, no, actually it's not. A lot of these are, how are you negotiating even with your client? Because it's talking about, again, when we get down to, even like try, like the next one, 7 is try. It's talking
Well,
about
here's the
how
example
to
for
get
should. I think,
go ahead.
yeah, to your point with should, agent, like speaking to the buyer, the house has been listed for almost a year. The seller should be thankful to get an offer. That now gets the buyers, to your point, to start thinking, oh, we're gonna get a low ball offer in here. We're gonna get this for cheap, as opposed to the agent saying that house has been listed for almost a year. Let's see how much they are willing to take given how long they have been on the market. Let's see how much. Let's get engaged in the negotiation and find out.
So it's really about negotiating with your clients as well as with another agent as well. So it's just important words to be direct and clear, and obviously not to make anybody feel one way or the other when you don't know the answer. That's a good one, actually. The should. I like that. How many times I feel like I've said that?
Number 7 is try. People use the word try when they're uncertain. Let's just try it. I'll try to have your CMA done by, oh my gosh, this one for agents. I'll try to have your CMA done by 5 p.m. No, I'll have your CMA done by 5 p.m. If you know that's unreasonable, I'll have that CMA done to you and over to you first thing tomorrow morning. Like, be clear and then follow through so that your clients know what to expect from you throughout the process of working with you. Absolutely. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
All right. Which one do you think is most important? I think, first of all 7 of these should be not only taken out of your language in terms of negotiating, but in life. You shouldn't be hoping for anything in life.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing the lotto.
Right.
All of these.
I feel like can't is probably.
The paddle. We got to get a paddle going.
Oh, well, we have some rackets. Can we use the rackets?
We could use the rackets.
I have all 3 of them behind me today. I feel pretty glamorous.
Those might just bounce off. I don't know. The rackets.
Well,
I don't know if it leaves a sting.
No,
catch it on the
edge. It's enough. It'll flinch. It's the flinch. I think the flinch is more, as you know. I mean, I like.
I think I like can't a lot. That's a great one. I would agree with you. That's the best. And I'd throw hope in there. Hope is just not a strategy. Hope is very weak language in all areas.
Or try. I mean, I think try. I mean, I think all in different situations, each of them are appropriately.
Yeah, try is such a weak word. I'm going to do
try.
X is a better,
absolutely
better way to phrase that up. So that was Bernice Ross. We love Bernice. We've covered a bunch of her stuff. So we'll link that up. If you've got any negotiating words that are on your don't say list, we'd love to hear from them. Any strategies that you have for winning multiple offer bids for your clients, love to hear those strategies.
Absolutely. I think in this market, I think that's the most important for sure.
Absolutely. No Marketeer of the week. If you got a Marketeer for next week, let us know. Please say hello in the comments if you're watching the show. Subscribe, like it, share this with another agent who should be following or listening. Nicole, anything from you?
No, I kind of enjoyed hearing you in my ears today.
In the ears. Nice? Well, you can hear me in another half hour. We got a meeting coming up.
Oh boy.
Are you sticking around?
It sounds like I have to.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. we should be there. All right, guys, keep it real. Thank you.
See ya.